Hello everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering the stories behind the coins that make collectors' hearts race and their wallets tremble with excitement. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey to explore one of the most tantalizing mysteries in modern coin collecting, the 2007 Lincoln penny, a seemingly humble 1-cent coin that, due to rare errors and mistakes, could theoretically command a staggering $65 million in value. Now, before we get carried away with visions of striking it rich, let's ground ourselves in the reality of coin collecting, where errors, scarcity, and historical quirks can transform a penny into a numismatic treasure. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, is one of the most iconic coins in American history, featuring Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of the 16th president on the obverse and, for the 2007 series, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that ran from 1959 to 2008. But what makes a 2007 penny so valuable that it could hypothetically fetch a price tag equivalent to a luxury yacht or a private island? The answer lies in the rare and dramatic minting errors that can occur during the production process, turning an ordinary cent into a collector's holy grail. To understand this, we need to delve into the minting process itself, where coins are struck at high speed using massive presses, dies, and planchets, the blank metal discs that become coins. Errors happen when something goes awry, whether it's a misalignment, a defective die, or an incorrect planchet, and these mistakes, when they escape the U.S. Mint's quality control, become the stuff of legend among collectors. Let's start with one of the most coveted error types that could elevate a 2007 penny's value, the double die error. This occurs when the die, which imprints the design onto the planchet, is misaligned during its creation, causing elements like letters, numbers, or images to appear doubled. For a 2007 Lincoln penny, a double die error might show up as a noticeable doubling of Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty" on the obverse, or the Lincoln Memorial and "United States of America" on the reverse. The strength of the doubling is critical. Strong, visible doubling, especially on high-grade coins, can command significant premiums. For instance, a 2007 penny with a prominent double die obverse, graded MS65 or higher, could fetch thousands of dollars, as seen with other Lincoln cents like the 1955 double die, which remains a benchmark for such errors. While no specific 2007 double die penny has been documented as reaching $65 million, the potential exists if an exceptionally rare and dramatic example were discovered, especially given the precedent set by coins like the 1943 bronze cent, which sold for over $1 million due to its rarity and error status. Another error that could skyrocket a 2007 penny's value is the off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned during striking, resulting in a design that's shifted off the coin's center. Imagine a 2007 penny where Lincoln's portrait is only partially visible, with a large blank crescent on one side. The value of an off-center strike depends on the degree of misalignment. Coins with 30% to 50% off-center strikes are particularly prized, as they retain enough of the design to be identifiable but are visually striking due to the error. A 2007 P Lincoln cent with a 35% off-center strike, graded MS65, sold for $845 at a 2021 Heritage auction sale, indicating that a more extreme error, say 60% or more, in pristine condition, could push the value significantly higher. If a 2007 penny were found with a near-perfect off-center strike, coupled with a high grade and red coloration, meaning it retains the original coppery luster, it could theoretically approach the kind of value that collectors dream of, especially if it's a unique specimen. Then there's the possibility of a wrong planchet error, where a 2007 penny is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, such as a dime or quarter. This is exceedingly rare, as the Mint's quality control is designed to prevent such mix-ups, but when they occur, they're spectacular. For example, a 2006 D penny struck on a nickel planchet sold for $920 in 2022, and a 2001 D Lincoln cent mule with a dime reverse fetched $114,000 in 2021. If a 2007 penny were struck on, say, a silver dime planchet or even a foreign coin planchet, the rarity and novelty could drive its value into the millions, especially if it's a one-of-a-kind error. The idea of a $65 million 2007 penny hinges on such an extreme scenario, a mule error, where the obverse of a Lincoln cent is paired with the reverse of another denomination, like a Roosevelt dime or a foreign coin, combined with impeccable condition and a compelling backstory. Mules are among the rarest errors because they require a catastrophic failure in the Mint's die setup, and only a handful of modern examples exist, such as the 1999 Lincoln cent mule with a dime reverse. Another error to consider is the die cap, where a planchet sticks to the die and continues to strike incoming planchets, creating coins with distorted or missing designs. A 2006 P Lincoln cent with a die cap error sold for $1,250, suggesting that a 2007 penny with a dramatic die cap, perhaps one that's struck multiple times and retains a cap-like shape, could be worth significantly more. Lamination errors, where the coin's surface splits or peels due to impurities in the metal, are also collectible. A 2007 P penny with a major lamination crack sold for $610 in 2020, but a more extreme example, where a large portion of the coin's surface is detached, could fetch a higher premium. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, resulting in a wider, thinner coin with a distorted design. Broad strikes are visually striking and can command high prices, especially if the entire design remains visible. A 2007 penny with a broad strike error, graded MS64 or higher, could easily reach into the thousands, and an exceptionally rare example might push the value higher. Another intriguing possibility is a transitional error, where a 2007 penny is struck on a planchet from a different year or composition, such as a pre-1982 bronze planchet, 95% copper, instead of the copper-plated zinc used since 1982. The 1982 D small date copper penny, a transitional error, is valued at over $10,000, and a similar error in 2007 could be even rarer due to the mint's improved processes. The weight difference, 3.11 grams for bronze versus 2.5 grams for zinc, would be a key identifier, and a coin like this in mint condition could command a fortune. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: why $65 million? This figure is speculative, rooted in the astronomical prices paid for ultra-rare era coins like the 1943 D bronze cent, which sold for $1.7 million in 2010, or the 1914 D Lincoln cent, which fetched $159,000 in mint condition. The $65 million valuation for a 2007 penny would require an error of unprecedented rarity, perhaps a unique mule, a dramatic multi-era coin, combining, say, a double die, off-center strike, and wrong planchet, or a coin with a verifiable historical significance, like one smuggled out of the mint or tied to a famous collection. The condition is paramount. Collectors pay top dollar for coins graded MS65 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC, especially if they are red, retaining 95% or more of their original copper luster. A brown or circulated 2007 penny, even with an error, would be worth far less. The rarity factor is also critical. Errors like the 1943 bronze cent are valuable because only a handful exist, and if a 2007 penny were one of a kind, its value could skyrocket. Market dynamics play a role too. The coin collecting community is driven by demand, and a 2007 penny with a jaw-dropping error could spark a bidding war at auction, especially if hyped by a major auction house like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. The 2007 penny's composition, copper-plated zinc, also adds intrigue, as errors involving the zinc core, like plating blisters or exposed zinc due to missing copper, can increase value, though typically not to millions unless combined with other errors. Let's explore some hypothetical scenarios that could push a 2007 penny's value into the stratosphere. Imagine a coin struck on a gold planchet, perhaps a test piece from the mint's experimental runs, accidentally released into circulation. Gold coins, even small ones, have intrinsic metal value, and the rarity of such an error could make it a numismatic unicorn. Or consider a 2007 penny with a triple struck error, where the coin is hit 3 times, each strike misaligned, creating a chaotic, visually stunning design. If this coin were graded MS67 and certified as unique, collectors might go wild. Another possibility is a 2007 penny with a retained struck-through error, where a foreign object, like a piece of wire or cloth, is embedded in the coin during striking, creating a one-of-a-kind artifact. The 2007 George Washington dollar, which saw errors like missing edge lettering fetching over $100, sets a precedent for modern coins commanding high prices due to errors. The Lincoln cent, with its massive production, over 7 billion struck in 2007 between Philadelphia and Denver, is less likely to produce such rarities, but the sheer volume increases the chance of an error slipping through. Certification
Collectors
from reputable
also value
grading services. Coins with a documented
$45
history,
million
like those
price
from a
tag
famous
implies
hoard or
that
tied
this
to a
2007
cent has been authenticated,
can fetch premiums.
Graded, likely MS,
The 2007
or
pennies
higher,
design,
and
with its
featured in
detailed Lincoln
high-profile
portrait and
auctions,
memorial
with bidding
reverse,
wars among
offers
wealthy
multiple
collectors driving
opportunities
up its
for
errors
value.
to stand out.
The
Whether it's a
numismatic
doubled,
community's
Liberty's
obsession with
rarity and perfection explains why such a coin could fetch such a sum. Collectors prize coins that tell a story, and a 2007 cent with multiple, dramatic errors is a narrative of mint imperfection, human error, and the thrill of discovery. Beyond the errors themselves, the coin's value is driven by market dynamics. The numismatic market has seen exponential growth in recent years, with rare coins like the 1933 Double Eagle selling for $18.9 million in 2021 and a 1794 flowing hair silver dollar fetching $10 million. A 2007 cent valued at $45 million would rank among the most expensive coins ever sold, surpassing even the 1943 bronze cent's $1.7 million record. This valuation reflects not just the coin's rarity but also the growing interest in modern era coins, which appeal to both traditional collectors and new investors seeking tangible assets. The 2007 cents errors, whether a mule, off-center strike, wrong planchet, double die, or brockage, make it a singular artifact, a mistake that should never have left the mint. Its value is further enhanced by its condition, historical significance, and the story of its discovery, whether found in circulation or unearthed in a forgotten collection. Collectors are drawn to the idea of owning a piece of history, a coin that defies the odds of mass production and quality control. The 2007 cent's $45 million price tag is a testament to its uniqueness, a reminder that even the humblest penny can become a treasure when the stars align, or, in this case, when the mint's presses misalign. So, next time you're sifting through your pocket change, take a closer look. You never know when you might stumble across the next numismatic legend. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of rare coins. Subscribe, hit that bell, and join our community of treasure hunters as we uncover more stories of coins worth millions. Date, or a distorted memorial. The mint's quality control has improved since the 1940s, when errors like the 1943 bronze cent occurred, but mistakes still happen, and modern errors are often more valuable due to their scarcity in an era of mechanized precision. To put the $65 million figure in perspective, consider that the most valuable coins ever sold, like the 1933 Double Eagle, $18.9 million, or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar, $10 million, are valued for their historical significance and rarity, not just errors. A 2007 penny would need to combine an unprecedented error with a compelling narrative to approach such a value. For example, a coin struck on a platinum planchet, with a double die and off-center strike, certified as unique and tied to a mint scandal, could theoretically ignite a collector frenzy. The coin market is also influenced by trends. Lincoln cents are perennially popular, and a new error discovered in 2007 could generate buzz, especially if amplified by social media or a high-profile auction. Now, let's talk practicalities. How do you find such a penny? Most 2007 pennies in circulation are worth just 1 cent, as the Denver and Philadelphia mints produced them in massive quantities, 3.6 billion and 3.7 billion, respectively. But error coins hide in pocket change, bank rolls, or old collections, so check your pennies for anomalies. Look for doubling under a magnifying glass, weigh coins to detect wrong planchets. A bronze 2007 penny would weigh 3.11 grams, not 2.5, and inspect for off-center strikes or unusual surfaces. Grading is crucial. Coins must be certified by PCGS or NGC to command top dollar, as these services verify authenticity and condition. Be wary of post-mint damage, like coins altered to mimic errors, as these have no collectible value. The 2007 penny's errors, while rare, are documented. Lamination errors, off-center strikes, and die breaks have surfaced, with values ranging from $500 to $1,000 for high-grade examples. A $65 million penny would need to be a singular phenomenon, like the 1943 bronze cent or the 2001 mule, but the possibility exists. The numismatic world thrives on discovery, and every year, new errors are found, often by everyday people sifting through change. So, why does a 2007 penny with errors capture our imagination? It's the dream of finding treasure in the mundane, the idea that a penny in your pocket could change your life. The $65 million figure may be aspirational, but it reflects the potential of a truly unique error in a high-demand market. Collectors are drawn to the Lincoln penny's history, its accessibility, and the thrill of the hunt. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, a wrong planchet, or a mule, the errors that make a 2007 penny valuable are the mint's rare mistakes, preserved in metal and coveted by those who chase the extraordinary. So, next time you get change, take a closer look. You might just have a $65 million penny waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of error coins, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Keep collecting, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next video. Next, welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive into the thrilling world of coin collecting, uncovering the hidden treasures that lurk in your pocket change and exploring the stories behind coins that can turn a single cent into a fortune. Today, we're focusing on an extraordinary piece of numismatic history, the 1995 Lincoln penny, a coin that, due to rare and dramatic minting errors, could theoretically command an astonishing $29 million in value, making it one of the most coveted coins in modern collecting. The Lincoln penny, first struck in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth, is a cornerstone of American coinage, featuring Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of the 16th president on the obverse end. For the 1995 series, Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, used from 1959 to 2008. With over 6.4 billion pennies minted in Philadelphia, 7.1 billion in Denver, and 2.7 million proof coins in San Francisco in 1995, you might wonder how a 1-cent coin could be worth millions. The answer lies in the rare errors and mistakes that occur during the minting process, transforming an ordinary penny into a numismatic gem that collectors dream of owning. Let's start with the most famous error associated with the 1995 penny, the double die obverse, DDO, a variety known as DDO-001 or FS-101, which is the last major double die error for circulating Lincoln cents before the U.S. Mint adopted single hub techniques in the late 1990s, eliminating such errors. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during its creation, causing elements like the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date, 1995, to appear doubled, often visible to the naked eye. The 1995 DDO is particularly dramatic, with strong doubling on the obverse inscriptions, making it highly desirable. When first discovered, these coins fetched up to $300 in raw condition, and today, an uncirculated 1995 DDO penny graded MS68 read by PCGS or NGC can sell for $20 to $60, with exceptional examples reaching higher. While no single 1995 DDO has been documented at $29 million, the potential exists if a pristine, unique specimen were found, especially given the precedent of other error coins like the 1969 S double die, which sold for $126,500 in 2005. The 1995 DDO's value is driven by its visibility, scarcity, an estimated 500,000 exist, still a tiny fraction of the total mintage, and the media frenzy that followed its discovery, which boosted its popularity among collectors and non-collectors alike. Another error that could elevate a 1995 penny's value is the off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned during striking, resulting in a design that's shifted off the coin's center. For example, a 1995 penny with a 30% to 50% off-center strike, where part of Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial is missing but enough remains to identify the coin, can fetch $20 to $300, depending on the degree of misalignment and condition. A 1995 P penny with an MS63 red-brown off-center strike sold for $130 on eBay, but a more extreme 60% off-center strike in MS67 red could push the value into the thousands. If a 1995 penny were found with an unprecedented 90% off-center strike, retaining just a sliver of the design in pristine condition, it could command a significant premium, potentially approaching the millions if certified as unique. Wrong planchet errors are another possibility, where a 1995 penny is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, like a dime or quarter. These are exceedingly rare due to the mint's quality control, but they do occur. For instance, a 1995 Lincoln cent struck on a Roosevelt dime planchet, a mule error with a cent obverse and dime reverse, would be a numismatic bombshell. A similar 1995 Lincoln cent mule with a dime reverse is known, and such coins have sold for over $100,000, as seen with a 2001 D mule that fetched $114,000 in 2021. If a 1995 penny were struck on a silver dime planchet or a foreign coin planchet, its rarity and novelty could drive its value into the millions, especially if it's a one-of-a-kind error. The $29 million figure might stem from such a scenario, a mule error combined with impeccable condition and a compelling provenance, like a coin smuggled out of the mint or tied to a famous collection. Die cap errors, where a planchet sticks to the die and strikes subsequent planchets, creating distorted or capped coins, are also collectible. A 1995 penny with a die cap error, where the obverse is flattened or shows multiple strikes, could fetch hundreds, as seen with a 2006 P die cap penny that sold for $1,250. A more dramatic example, such as a 1995 penny with a bottle cap-like shape in MS65 red, could push the value higher. Lamination errors, where the coin's surface splits due to impurities in the zinc core, are less valuable but still sought after. A 1995 penny with a major lamination crack sold for $40 in MS62 red, but a coin with a large, detached surface layer could reach $100 or more. Broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, result in a wider, thinner coin with a distorted design. A 1995 broad strike penny, retaining all design elements, might sell for $9 to $25, but a spectacular example in high grade could fetch more. Another intriguing error is the transitional error, where a 1995 penny is struck on a pre-1982 bronze planchet, 95% copper, 3.11 grams, instead of the standard copper-plated zinc, 2.5 grams. The 1982 D bronze small date penny, a transitional error, is valued at over $10,000, and a 1995 penny with a similar error would be rarer due to improved mint processes. Such a coin, verified by weight and composition, could command a fortune in MS67 red. The 1995 penny's composition, 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper, also opens the door to errors like missing clad layers, where the copper plating is absent, exposing the zinc core. These can fetch $50 to $100, but a dramatic example, like a 1995 penny with a fully exposed zinc obverse and red reverse, could be worth more. Die cracks, particularly the BIE variety where a crack between the B and E in Liberty resembles an I, are common but collectible, with values of $5 to $25. A 1995 penny with a major die break, or cud, where a piece of the die breaks off, creating a raised blob, can sell for $20 to $100, as seen with an MS62 red example that fetched $40. Now, let's address the $29 million valuation. This figure is speculative, likely inspired by the highest coin sales, like the 1933 Double Eagle, $18.9 million, or the 1943 D bronze cent, $1.7 million in 2010. A 1995 penny would need an extraordinary combination of errors, say, a double die obverse, off-center strike, and wrong planchet, graded MS69 red with a unique backstory, to approach such a value. The condition is critical. Red coins with 95% plus original copper luster command the highest premiums, while red-brown or brown coins are worth less. Rarity is another factor. Only a handful of mules or transitional errors exist, and a 1995 penny with a unique error could spark a bidding war at auction. Market dynamics also play a role. The 1995 DDO's media coverage in the 1990s drove demand, and a newly discovered error today could generate similar hype, amplified by social media and auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. Hypothetical scenarios for a $29 million 1995 penny include a coin struck on a gold or platinum planchet, perhaps a test piece accidentally released, combining intrinsic metal value with numismatic rarity. Or imagine a triple-struck 1995 penny, each strike misaligned, creating a chaotic design in MS68 red, certified as unique. A retained struck-through error, where a foreign object like wire or cloth is embedded in the coin, could also be a one-of-a-kind find. The 1995 penny's high mintage makes errors rare, but the volume increases the chance of an anomaly slipping through. Provenance matters too. A coin from a famous hoard or tied to a mint scandal could fetch a premium. The Lincoln penny's enduring popularity, driven by its history and accessibility, fuels collector interest, and errors like the 1995 DDO are well documented, with values from $20 to $300 for circulated to uncirculated examples. To find a $29 million penny, check pocket change, bank rolls, or old collections for anomalies like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual weights. Use a magnifying glass to inspect inscriptions, weigh coins to detect wrong planchets, and verify authenticity with PCGS or NGC grading. Beware of post-mint damage, like altered coins, which have no value. The $29 million dream reflects the thrill of numismatics, finding treasure in the everyday. Whether it's a double die, mule, or transitional error, the 1995 penny's value lies in the mint's rare mistakes, preserved in metal and cherished by collectors. Keep hunting, and thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin adventure. Next, let's dive into the fascinating world of numismatics, where a seemingly ordinary 2014 Lincoln Shield cent, a coin worth just 1 cent in everyday transactions, could potentially command an astonishing $90 million due to rare errors and mistakes that make it a holy grail for collectors. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birthday, has a storied history, evolving from the wheat cent to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, and finally to the shield reverse in 2010, which is the design we see on the 2014 penny. This small copper-plated zinc coin, weighing just 2.5 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter, might seem unremarkable at first glance, but certain minting errors can transform it into a numismatic treasure. The U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies each year, over 8 billion in 2014 alone, split between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, so errors are rare, occurring due to mechanical malfunctions, human oversights, or defective materials during the minting process. These errors, when they slip through quality control and enter circulation, become highly sought after by collectors, driving their value to extraordinary heights. While no specific 2014 Lincoln cent has been documented as fetching $90 million, the potential for such a valuation exists if an error coin exhibits a combination of extreme rarity, dramatic visual appeal, and historical significance, akin to legendary error coins like the 1943 bronze cent or the 1969 double die obverse penny, which have sold for millions. Let's explore the types of errors and mistakes that could theoretically elevate a 2014 penny to such an astronomical value, delving into the intricacies of the minting process, the specific defects that captivate collectors, and the speculative possibilities that could justify a $90 million price tag. The minting process begins with the creation of a planchet, a blank metal disc punched from a strip of copper-plated zinc for modern pennies. If a planchet intended for another denomination, say a dime or quarter, is mistakenly fed into the penny press, you get a wrong planchet error, a rare occurrence that could dramatically increase a coin's value. Imagine a 2014 penny struck on a silver dime planchet. Its silver composition, starkly different from the copper-plated zinc, would make it a standout anomaly, potentially worth thousands or more due to its uniqueness. In 2014, the mint was producing coins across multiple denominations, so a mix-up in planchet bins could result in a penny with a silver or even gold-colored appearance if struck on a planchet meant for a commemorative coin. Such an error would be visually striking, with the Lincoln portrait and shield reverse appearing on a metal that doesn't belong, making it a collector's dream. Another possibility is a transitional error, where a 2014 penny is struck on a planchet from a previous composition, like the 95% copper planchets used before 1982. These transitional errors, like the famous 1943 bronze cents that sold for over $1 million, are incredibly rare because the mint tightly controls planchet inventories, but a single 2014 penny struck on a leftover copper planchet could command a fortune due to its scarcity and historical echo of past transitional errors. The value escalates if the coin is in pristine mint state condition, graded MS 67 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC, as collectors prize uncirculated coins for their sharp details and lustrous surfaces. Beyond planchet errors, die errors are another category that could push a 2014 penny's value into the stratosphere. A double die obverse, where the design elements like the date, Lincoln's portrait, or the motto, "In God We Trust," appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process, is one of the most coveted errors. The 1969 double die penny, for instance, sold for $1.7 million because the doubling was dramatic and visible to the naked eye. A 2014 penny with a similar pronounced double die, especially on the obverse where Lincoln's profile or the 2014 date shows clear doubling, could fetch millions if only a few examples exist. In 2014, the Philadelphia and Denver mints used modern hubbing techniques, but even with advanced technology, a hub misalignment could occur, creating a double die that escapes detection. If such a coin were discovered in circulation, its rarity, combined with the visual appeal of doubled features, would make it a numismatic sensation, potentially justifying a multi-million-dollar valuation. Another die-related error is the missing design element, often caused by grease or debris clogging the die during striking, resulting in parts of the design, like the mint mark or portions of Lincoln's portrait, being absent. The 1922 no-D Lincoln cent, where grease obscured the Denver mint mark, is a famous example worth over $500 in worn condition. A 2014 penny with a missing D mint mark from Denver or a completely blank obverse would be a major find, valued in the tens of thousands or more, depending on its condition and the extent of the missing elements. If multiple design elements were omitted due to a filled die, the coin's uniqueness would drive its value higher, especially if it were one of a kind. Die cracks and breaks also create valuable errors, where the die develops fractures during use, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. A 2014 penny with a significant die break, known as a cud, where a large portion of the die chips away, could show a raised, unstruck area on the coin, perhaps covering part of the shield reverse or Lincoln's bust. Such dramatic errors are rare in modern minting due to improved quality control, but a cut error on a 2014 penny, especially if it affects a large portion of the design, could be worth thousands, with its value soaring if it's unique or part of a small batch. Strike errors, which occur during the actual pressing of the coin, offer even more possibilities for a $90 million 2014 penny. An off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned, results in a coin with part of the design missing and a blank crescent on one side. The value of off-center strikes depends on the percentage of misalignment. A 2014 penny with a 50% or greater off-center strike, where half the design is off the flan, could fetch hundreds or thousands, as seen with the 2014 penny graded MS63 with a 25% off-center error that sold for $235 in 2020. A 90% off-center strike, leaving just a sliver of Lincoln's portrait or the date, would be exponentially rarer and more valuable, potentially reaching 6 or 7 figures if it's the only known example. Broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, result in a wider, thinner coin with all design elements intact but stretched. A 2014 penny with a broad strike error sold for $285 in 2016, but a more extreme broad strike, especially on a high-grade coin, could push the value higher. A double-struck coin, where the planchet is hit twice by the dies, often at different angles, creates a distorted, overlapping design. A 2014 penny with a double strike, showing two distinct images of Lincoln or the shield, could be worth hundreds to thousands, with the value skyrocketing if the second strike is significantly off-center or rotated. A multi-strike error, where the coin is struck multiple times, fusing multiple planchets together like the 1999 Lincoln cent bonded cluster that sold for $2,702.50 in 2014, would be even rarer and more valuable, potentially reaching millions if the error is unprecedented in modern coinage. One of the most dramatic errors is the mule, where a coin is struck with mismatched obverse and reverse dies, such as a 2014 penny with a dimes reverse or a quarters obverse. The 2001 mule penny, with a Roosevelt dime reverse, sold for $96,000 in 2023, illustrating the immense value of mules due to their extreme rarity. A 2014 penny mule, perhaps combining a Lincoln obverse with a quarters America the Beautiful reverse, would be a numismatic anomaly of epic proportions, easily worth millions if authenticated. The mint's strict quality control makes mules exceedingly rare, but a single example slipping into circulation could justify a $90 million valuation, especially if it's the only known specimen and graded in high mint state. Another error type is the clipped planchet, where the blank is improperly cut, resulting in a coin with a curved or straight missing section. A 2014 penny with a significant clip, especially if it affects the date or Lincoln's portrait, could be worth hundreds, with larger or multiple clips increasing the value. A missing clad layer, where the copper plating fails to adhere to the zinc core, creates a two-toned coin with a copper-colored obverse and a silverish reverse, or vice versa. Such errors are rare in 2014 pennies due to improved manufacturing, but a full missing clad layer could fetch thousands, as collectors prize the striking visual contrast. A split planchet error, where the planchet splits before or after striking due to internal weaknesses, could reveal the zinc core or create a coin in two pieces, each showing partial designs. A 2014 penny with a split planchet, especially if both halves are preserved, could be worth thousands for its rarity and curiosity. Rotation errors, where the obverse and reverse are misaligned, are less valuable but still collectible, with a 180-degree rotation potentially worth $50 to $100 in high grade. A 2014 penny with a combination of errors, say, a double die obverse, off-center strike, and missing clad layer, would be a one-of-a-kind piece, pushing its value into the millions due to its unparalleled uniqueness. The $90 million price tag hinges on the coin's rarity, condition, and market demand. For comparison, the 1943 bronze cent, with only a handful known, sold for $1.7 million in 2010, and the 1969 double die penny reached a similar price. A 2014 penny would need to be a singular error, like a mule or a transitional error on a unique planchet, discovered in pristine MS-70 condition, and accompanied by a compelling story, such as being found in circulation or tied to a historical mint event. The 2014 penny's value could also be inflated by speculative fervor, as seen with rare coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, which sold for $3.2 million due to its scarcity and mystique. Collectors and investors drive prices through competitive bidding at auctions, and a 2014 penny with a documented, jaw-dropping error could spark such a frenzy. The coin's provenance, its history of ownership and discovery, adds value. A 2014 penny found in a parking lot or inherited from a grandparent's collection would captivate collectors, boosting its marketability. Media coverage and numismatic scholarship, like inclusion in references such as the Whitman Guide to 100 Greatest U.S. Error Coins, could further elevate its status. The 2014 penny's copper-plated zinc composition, while less intrinsically valuable than silver or gold, doesn't deter collectors, as error coins derive value from rarity, not metal content. In 2014, the U.S. Mint's production was highly automated, reducing errors, but human intervention or mechanical failures could still produce anomalies. For instance, a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet, could leave faint impressions of the shield reverse on Lincoln's portrait, creating a collectible error worth hundreds or more if pronounced. A 2014 penny with a retained die break, where a piece of the die remains in place, could show a raised, distorted area, adding to its appeal. The Mint's quality control in 2014 was stringent, but errors like these could escape, especially during high-volume production runs. The speculative $90 million valuation assumes a perfect storm, a unique error, flawless condition, and intense collector demand. Historical precedents suggest it's possible. Coins like the 1804 silver dollar, dubbed the King of American Coins, have sold for $4.1 million due to their rarity and story. A 2014 penny with a never-before-seen error, verified by experts and hyped in the numismatic community, could approach or exceed such figures in a heated auction. Collectors specialize in errors, forming communities like those on Numista, where enthusiasts share finds like rotation errors or die cracks, fueling interest in modern coins. The 2014 penny's potential lies in its ability to surprise. A single coin, overlooked in pocket change, could rewrite numismatic history. While no documented 2014 penny has reached $90 million, the possibility exists if a coin combines multiple rare errors, impeccable preservation, and a captivating narrative, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find for a collector willing to pay a fortune to own a piece of minting history. Next, imagine stumbling across a penny in your pocket change, a seemingly ordinary 1985 Lincoln cent, but what if I told you that this unassuming coin could be worth a staggering $78 million due to rare errors and mistakes that make it a numismatic treasure? The 1985 Lincoln penny, part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, is a coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance, as over 5 billion were minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with Philadelphia alone striking 4,951,904,887 cents and Denver producing 5,287,399,926, while San Francisco minted over 3 million proof coins for collectors. Yet, hidden among these billions are rare specimens with errors so extraordinary that they've driven collectors to pay jaw-dropping sums, and the possibility of a single 1985 penny fetching $78 million is rooted in a combination of minting errors, historical context, and the feverish demand for unique numismatic anomalies. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial, is iconic, featuring Victor D. Brenner's obverse design with Lincoln's right-facing bust, the motto, "In God We Trust," above, liberty to the left, and the date, 1985, to the right, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the Lincoln Memorial with United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum, above and 1 cent below. By 1985, the U.S. Mint had transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, due to rising copper prices in the early 1980s, a shift that began in 1982 and replaced the earlier 95% copper alloy, creating a lighter coin weighing 2.5 grams compared to the 3.11 grams of bronze cents. This compositional change sets the stage for some of the most valuable errors, as mistakes in the minting process during this era could result in coins with incorrect metal compositions or striking flaws that collectors prize. One of the most coveted errors is the off-metal strike, where a 1985 penny was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet left over from the pre-1982 era, a mistake that echoes the famous 1983 bronze cent that sold for $26,000 at auction. Such an error occurs when a planchet from the old copper alloy stock is fed into the press meant for zinc coins, creating a heavier coin that stands out to collectors. If a 1985 bronze cent were discovered in pristine condition, graded MS69 read by PCGS or NGC, its rarity could theoretically push its value into the millions, as only a handful of transitional off-metal errors are known to exist from this period. Another error that could elevate a 1985 penny's value is the double die, a mistake where the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing a visible doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements. While the 1983 double die reverse penny, with strong doubling on e pluribus unum and 1 cent, fetched $7,050 at auction, a hypothetical 1985 penny with extreme doubling on both obverse and reverse, say, Lincoln's portrait and the entire Lincoln Memorial, could be a one-of-a-kind find, driving its value exponentially higher due to its uniqueness and the intense scrutiny it would attract from collectors. Off-center strikes are another error type, where the coin is misaligned in the press, leaving part of the design missing or shifted, with the most valuable being 50% off-center strikes that still show the full date and mint mark, potentially worth $50 to $100 in circulated condition but far more in uncirculated grades. A 1985 penny with a dramatic 50% off-center strike, certified MS68 red, could command thousands, and if combined with other errors, its value could climb further. Clad layer errors, where the copper plating peels away to reveal the zinc core, create a striking two-tone effect that collectors find appealing, with uncirculated examples fetching $10 or more, but a severe peeling error on a high-grade 1985 penny could push values higher, especially if paired with another rarity. Die breaks, where part of the die cracks and leaves raised lines or missing elements on the coin, are also collectible, with a notable 1985 Philadelphia penny missing the word cent and part of the Lincoln Memorial due to a die break, selling for $455 in MS64 red and brown condition. If such an error were found in MS69 red, its value could skyrocket, potentially into the tens or hundreds of thousands, depending on its visual impact and rarity. Another rare error is the broad strike, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread out larger than normal, with extreme broad strikes valued at $10 to $100 or more, and a 1985 penny with an extreme broad strike in gem condition could fetch significantly higher sums. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1985, and errors in these are particularly valuable because proofs are struck with special care, making mistakes like off-center strikes or missing mint marks exceedingly rare. A 1985 proof penny with a dramatic error could easily reach 5 or 6 figures. The $78 million valuation for a 1985 penny would likely stem from a combination of these errors. Imagine a coin struck on a bronze planchet, with a severe double die on both sides, 50% off-center, and a clad layer error exposing the zinc core, all in pristine MS69 red condition. Such a coin would be a numismatic unicorn, as no single 1985 penny with this exact combination is documented, but the precedent for high-value errors exists, like the 1982 D small date bronze penny that sold for $18,800 or the 1983 bronze cent at $26,000. The rarity of such a coin would be amplified by its condition, as red pennies, those with vibrant, unoxidized copper surfaces, are highly prized, and professional grading by PCGS or NGC would confirm its authenticity and quality, boosting its market value. The 1985 penny's value is also driven by the numismatic market's dynamics, where collectors and investors chase conditional rarities, as seen with a 1985 MS68 Plus red penny that sold for $5,875 in 2014, though recent market trends suggest prices for top-grade coins have softened to $200 to $300 for MS68 red. However, a one-of-a-kind error coin could defy these trends, especially if it captures the imagination of wealthy collectors at auction, where bidding wars can inflate prices dramatically, as seen with the 1985 MS69 red penny that fetched $11,812.50. The historical context of the 1985 penny adds to its allure, as the mint's adoption of chrome-plated dies in 1985 gave coins a distinct, consistent appearance, but errors from these dies stand out even more starkly. Collectors also value the Lincoln penny's legacy, as it's the longest-running U.S. coin design, and errors from the mid-1980s, a period of transition in minting technology, are particularly sought after. The possibility of finding such a coin in circulation is slim but not impossible, as many 1985 pennies were released into the wild, and stories like the 1982 D bronze cent found by a collector searching pocket change fuel the dreams of hobbyists. To identify a valuable 1985 penny, check the mint mark, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco proofs, located under the date, and inspect for errors using a magnifying glass or a coin identification app. Look for doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's portrait, off-center designs, unusual coloration indicating a clad error, or a heavier weight suggesting a bronze planchet. The weight is critical. A 1985 penny should weigh 2.5 grams if zinc, but a bronze error would weigh closer to 3.11 grams. Grading is another factor, as coins in mint state, MS, grades, especially MS65 and above, command premiums, and a red designation for pristine copper luster adds significant value. The numismatic community's excitement over errors is evident in online forums like Reddit, where collectors share finds like a 1985 penny with a doubled N in 1 cent, sparking discussions about its potential worth. While no documented 1985 penny has sold for $78 million, the theoretical value arises from the perfect storm of multiple errors, pristine condition, and auction hype, where a coin story, say, a unique error found in circulation, could drive its price to unprecedented heights. For collectors, the hunt for such a penny is part thrill, part history, as each coin tells a story of minting mishaps and human error. If you're holding a 1985 penny, don't toss it into the change jar just yet, examine it closely, as you might be holding a fortune disguised as a humble cent. Next, picture yourself sifting through pocket change and spotting a 1998 D. Lincoln penny, a coin so unremarkable at first glance that you might toss it into a jar without a second thought, but what if this single cent, minted in Denver in 1998, could be worth an astonishing $100 million due to a combination of rare minting errors and mistakes that transform it into a numismatic holy grail? The 1998 D. Lincoln penny, part of the Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008, is one of billions produced, with the Denver Mint striking $5,225,353,500 that year, making it a common coin in circulated condition, worth just 1 cent unless it harbors specific errors that collectors covet. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial, features Victor D. Brenner's obverse design with Lincoln's bust facing right, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty" to the left, the date, 1998, and D. Mint mark to the right, and Frank Gasparo's reverse showcasing the Lincoln Memorial with "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent inscribed. By 1998, these pennies were made of a copper-plated zinc core, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing 2.5 grams, a shift from the 95% copper alloy used before 1982, which weighed 3.11 grams, a change driven by rising copper prices in the early 1980s. This compositional transition opens the door to some of the most valuable errors, as mistakes during minting can produce coins with unique characteristics that drive their value into the stratosphere. One such error is the off-metal strike, where a 1998 D penny might be struck on a leftover bronze planchet from the pre-1982 era, creating a coin that weighs 3.11 grams instead of 2.5 grams, a rarity akin to the 1983 D bronze penny that sold for $3,000 or more due to its scarcity, with only a few known examples. If a 1998 D bronze cent were discovered in pristine MS69 red condition, its value could theoretically soar into the millions, as transitional errors from this period are exceptionally rare, with collectors paying premiums for coins like the 1943 D bronze cent, which fetched $1.7 million in 2010 due to its one-of-a-kind status. Another high-value error is the doubled die, where a misaligned die causes doubling in the coin's design, such as in Lincoln's portrait, the date, or inscriptions like "Liberty" or "E Pluribus Unum." While the 1998 D penny isn't known for a major double die like the 1995 double die obverse, which shows significant doubling in Lincoln's earlobe and is worth $25 to $100, a hypothetical 1998 D penny with extreme doubling on both obverse and reverse, say, a pronounced doubling of Lincoln's face and the entire Lincoln Memorial, could be a unique specimen, potentially valued in the tens or hundreds of thousands, especially if graded MS68 or higher by PCGS or NGC. The 1998 wide AM variety, where the letters A and M in America on the reverse are spaced further apart than the standard close AM, is a known error for 1998 pennies, resulting from a proof reverse die mistakenly used for business strikes, and while over 100,000 such coins may exist, high-grade examples, MS67 or above, can fetch $5,000 or more, with an MS68 wide AM potentially worth significantly more due to its rarity in top condition. Off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing or shifted, are another collectible error, with 5% to 10% off-center 1998 D pennies valued at $7 to $15, but a dramatic 50% off-center strike showing the full date and mint mark could command $50 to $100 or more, and in gem condition, MS68 red, such a coin could reach thousands. If a 1998 D penny combined an off-center strike with a wide AM reverse and a bronze planchet, its value could escalate exponentially, as multiple errors on a single coin are extraordinarily rare. Clad layer errors, where the copper plating peels away to expose the zinc core, create a visually striking two-tone effect, typically worth $10 to $15 in uncirculated condition, but a severe clad error on a high-grade 1998 D penny could push its value higher, especially if paired with other anomalies. Die cracks, where the die used to strike the coin fractures, can leave raised lines or missing elements, such as the BIE error, a vertical die crack between the B and E in Liberty, resembling an I, which is popular among collectors and can add $5 to $10 to a coin's value, though a more dramatic die break, like one omitting part of the Lincoln Memorial or the word cent, could fetch hundreds in high grades. A 1998 D penny with a Liberty error, where a die crack makes the B look like an I, is noted for some 1998 coins and can be worth $10 to $15, but a severe version in MS69 red could command significantly more. Broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread larger than normal, are valued at $10 to $100 depending on severity, and a 1998 D broad strike in pristine condition could add substantial value, particularly if combined with other errors. Another rare possibility is a 1998 D penny struck with a proof reverse die, an error seen in some 1998 business strikes, where the proof-style wide AM reverse contrasts with the standard close AM, making high-grade examples worth thousands. A hypothetical 1998 D penny with a combination of these errors, say, struck on a bronze planchet, with a wide AM reverse, extreme double die on both sides, a 50% off-center strike, and a clad layer error, all in MS69 red condition, would be a numismatic phenomenon, potentially justifying a $100 million valuation due to its uniqueness and the intense demand from collectors at auction. The numismatic market thrives on such rarities, as seen with the 1998 no mint mark penny graded MS69 red that sold for $5,800 in 2020, or the 1969 S double die penny worth $126,500, showing how high-grade errors can command astronomical prices. The 1998 D penny's value is further enhanced by its historical context, as the late 1990s saw the U.S. Mint refining its processes, yet errors still slipped through, making them highly sought after. The wide AM error, for instance, stems from a mix-up where proof dies were used for circulation strikes, a mistake that occurred in 1998, 1999, and 2000, with the 1998 variety being the second scarcest, and high-grade examples are particularly valuable due to their scarcity in MS68 or above. Collectors also prize the Lincoln penny's legacy as the longest-running U.S. coin design, and errors from the 1990s, a period of technological stability at the mint, are less common, making them stand out. The chance of finding such a coin in circulation is slim but not impossible, as billions of 1998 D pennies were released, and stories like the 1969 S double die found in a roll of coins inspire collectors to search their change. To spot a valuable 1998 D penny, check the mint mark under the date, weigh the coin to confirm if it's 2.5 grams, zinc, or 3.11 grams, bronze, and inspect for doubling, off-center strikes, or wide AM spacing using a magnifying glass or coin app. Grading is crucial, as coins in MS65 or higher, especially with a red designation for vibrant copper luster, command significant premiums, and professional certification by PCGS or NGC ensures authenticity, boosting value. Online discussions, like those on NGC forums, highlight finds like a 1998 D penny with double die obverse and reverse, strike-through errors, and die clashing, suggesting that complex error combinations can significantly increase value, though exact prices depend on condition and auction dynamics. While no documented 1998 D penny has sold for $100 million, the theoretical value arises from a perfect storm of multiple errors, pristine condition, and the hype of a high-profile auction, where a coin story, perhaps found in everyday change, could ignite a bidding war among wealthy collectors, driving its price to unprecedented heights. So, before you dismiss that 1998 D penny in your pocket, take a closer look. It might just be the key to a fortune hiding in plain sight.